I'm Szymon Kupiński from Poznań Supercomputing and Networking Center, and together with Paweł Sierota, we will present the JIRA Service Desk, basic functionality of the JIRA Service Desk for the users, but also we will add some extra information about the backend of the working with JIRA Service Desk, because we assume that it could be used by you as a user, but also as a software used in your project to support users. So I will try to introduce a JIRA Service Desk, also introduce the reason why we provide that kind of service and what other kind of services we provide. And Paweł will describe functionalities of the portal and the functionalities of the user perspective. Thank you for filling the survey. I will share. Okay. Now we can see the results of the survey. So this is a couple of tools that we provide. I will describe it later. So what we want to let you know is that software supporting tools team is a part of Work Package 9 Task 2, and since over 10 years, this kind of a task or subtask is in GÉANT projects. We start in 2009 providing services for the user. One of the first services was the source code repositories. Now we provide two kind of source code repositories. This is some kind of a base for all the software development activity. So we start from that, and we provide more tools during this year. So now we provide the Bamboo is a Git provided by Git repository provided by Bitbucket, is provided by Atlassian. We also provide GitLab, which is a second implementation for the Git repository. From the Atlassian stack, we provide also JIRA and Bamboo, which is a source code, which is a continuous integration tool. And we have over 27 active JIRA projects in the last year. In the Bamboo, we have over 13 active plans, and together in Bitbucket and GitLab, we have over 60 repositories, and in Bitbucket 13 projects. So this is a lot of different software projects developed in GÉANT. We provide from so long time the Artifactory, which is a repository for the software artifacts like jars at the beginning, or the vars because it was designed for the Java. But now we also provide repositories for Docker, for example, or we can provide repositories for different kind of software packages like Python and so on. Based on last reports, we provide over 160 gigabytes of the releases in Artifactory. So it's jar files, some Docker files, and so on. You because we put focus not only on storing the software, but also on the quality of the software, we provide the Sonar Cube, which is a tool which provides some kind of quality control, static code analysis, and could be integrated with, for example, Bamboo or with GitLab continuous integration, and could help you to release better software. So far we have about 27 projects in Sonar Cube, and this tool is also used by our task or package 9 task 2 to provide quality checks in the software. At the beginning, we provide also a quality assurance testbed in laboratory. It's a virtual environment which you can ask for infrastructure as a service. You can use this for development, for testing, and so on, or even some pilot instance. And all these services need some support from our side, and need some maintenance, and we help users from all the GÉANT community to use that tools. Because of that, we have to provide some kind of a help desk over 10 years. And we start with a JIRA project because, as we can check on the survey, over 7 people marked on day. Okay, refresh the survey. Okay, 7 people signed that they use JIRA, so I assume that they know JIRA. We also use a Bitbucket, GitLab, Sonar Cube, and Artifactory, and also 2 people mark on Bamboo or QA Lab. So we have a couple of users here and a lot of users in a GÉANT community, and we want to support them quite well. Because JIRA is not very simplified tool, it could be the JIRA project will be implemented in different ways. It could be also sometimes very difficult to the users who don't know the JIRA. It could be difficult to raise any issues and raise a problem in JIRA, and they could afraid to use that way of communication. So a couple of years ago, we provide also some possibilities to raise issue via mailing list. The mailing list was designed only for the communication channel, and we get all the requests via email. We also get requests via JIRA project, and it was, for us, it wasn't very good solution because it's easier to manage all the issues in one place, and it's easier to get right information in one place to ask user at the beginning of raising a issue or problem. So we try to fix that issue, and we want to use a JIRA Service Desk portal, which provides the functionality of mixing together the knowledge base, which is available for all the users. You can navigate from our site software.geant.org to the knowledge base directly, or you can submit a ticket, and in this form, clicking on this button, you can navigate to the JIRA Service Desk portal, and you can get help or get assist in raising a ticket. This is some common way, very popular in the enterprise. So to provide a help desk to the users, which is not only a form, but an interactive form. You can, what will be described by Paweł, get only these fields that what are necessary for us to fix your problem. And we still accept email. We still track emails, and now we can track emails better also with the JIRA Service Desk. Whole communication is put it in one project, so it's easier for us to manage that, and it's easier to you to work with the tools, because we have a lot of tools, and we would like to support you in the best way. So we need some tools for that, and I will give a chance to Paweł to present on JIRA Service Desk directly. After the presentation, you can go to the portal, but now I will stop sharing, and please, Paweł, go ahead with the.
Okay, thank you, Szymon. Hello, everyone. I am Paweł Śrota from Poznań Supercomputing and Networking Center, and as Szymon said, I'm also a member of a software development supporting tools team. And today I will show you, I'll present you our new Service Desk portal, which, as Szymon said, is from now is the unified one channel to communicate with us. If you have any problem, any issues with any of our tool we provided, as well as if you have any problem or with our let's say with our QA lab environment, because we also support QA lab via this communication channel. Okay, so during my presentation, I will show you how to create a ticket if you have any problem, but I also want to show you some interesting features of JIRA Service Desk in general, because we want to encourage you to use Service Desk in your teams, in your project. So if you want, we can create for you a dedicated Service Desk project in JIRA. Okay, so how to communicate, how to create a ticket. So if you the easiest way is to use a link from our main portal from software.GÉANT.org by choosing this link, and now we will be, of course, after authentication, we'll be redirected to Service Desk. The other way is to use a direct link, which is help.software.géant.org. It also redirected to you to user portal here. Okay, so after login, as a user, of course, when we want to create some tickets, we see such a view. When on the left side, we have some categories of tickets. If you create your own portal, you can, of course, create your own categories here, as well as your own type of ticket. But we base it on our type of historical tickets from the old projects in JIRA, which was QA Lab and the second project to our tools. We decide to categorize our ticket for such a category. So the first three categories are basically related to our supporting tools as JIRA, as Bitbucket, Bamboo, etc. And the fourth category is related to QA Lab. So if you want to create, for example, a new virtual machine, or have we want to change some parameters of existing one, you should choose the one of the ticket from here, from the last category. This is very easy to create a ticket because when we choose the right option, so for example, for a new virtual machine, we see the appropriate form when we need to put some information. Of course, it could vary between the type of ticket. So in case of virtual machines, it is enough to fill the fields that we need to know to create the machine description, and after that we can create the ticket will be created. Okay, maybe I now very short description about our tickets, tickets type we created for you. So if you want to create the new project, for example, the new project in JIRA or the new project in any other tool we provided, you should choose the new project. And this is very important in all our, in our old ticket, is to choose one of the tool, because we need to know which tool the problem is related to. And then in case of JIRA, we can choose the project type JIRA and here point what kind of project it should be. And this is the same mechanism by creating the ticket will be created. In permission section, we have for now one ticket type when you want to grant a permission for a new people in your team, for example. And the problem is when you have any problem with a service, some general problem with service. This is ticket. This is the type of tickets you should use in this case. And if you have any other security problem, you should use, for example, if you have an existing account and have in GÉANT, but you have no access to some tool, you should use this type of ticket and the other security problem here. But okay, maybe a very interesting also thing here from the user's perspective is that before you create a ticket, you can find a solution in our knowledge base. As you can see, there is some field to searching, and if you have some problem and start typing, for example, and now see some suggestions here, some suggested articles from our knowledge base. We can here display this article and review it. And these articles is are from our knowledge base, which in fact is a Confluence space, which is related to our JIRA project. So this is a very great integration between Confluence and JIRA if it comes to provide some knowledge base, some articles from users. Of course, you have also here some suggestions what type of tickets will be probably the most suitable in this section, but you also can go back and create a ticket manually. Also, when you start creating a ticket and start typing summary, here is the same situation. From here, we also can see some suggestions from our knowledge base. Okay, and as you can see, creating a new ticket is very easy. Just need to problem, for example, and just create some. Okay. Yes, need some priority create, and okay, need to choose an application. Now the ticket will be created, and we are direct to the general view of this ticket. From here, we of course see the status. on ticket, see we can see all the history of our ticket, as well as add some people to as a watcher to the ticket by typing simply yes, and we can choose on someone from the list and resolve a cancel ticket. Okay, but what is also very interested here is from the user perspective in the user portal is that you have all your tickets in one place. So when you log into your user portal, in section My Requests, you see all requests you have ever created, and yes, as well as the all history. For example, this is some older ticket, and see that there's history for our communication. So also answers from some replies from supporting team ties, so from support. This is the great way to and place to add some comments. So with support, expect that we, for example, add some screenshot. We can very easy add it from here. Yes, as well as add some comment, and at the end, this is our reply to the support. Okay, so this is basically all from the user portals, users' point of view, from user of our customer. So from the people person who need to help, yes, so create some tickets. But now, as I said, I also want to show you some features from the other side, from the person who is responsible for service this all requests. So maybe I can switch to the JIRA Service project as a support team member, and in my project, this is basically the main view of our project. The main element, the most important for us are queues. So queues, because this is the place where all tickets existing in the system are visible. And we, of course, can organize the tickets in some way, because the idea of queue is not only to organize tickets within the queue, but we also can create sub queues, some other sub queues, like as we can see here, to some way categorize our tickets. As we can see here, we have, for example, one queue for all open tickets, as well as a ticket for queues for each tool we provide. Of course, the view of this list we see now is fully customizable. So we can, for each queue, we can change, for example, the attributes that we see here. This is very easy to do this, for example, because simply by editing queue, we can in this section decide which columns should be visible on the list, as well as change its order. And it was very helpful that when we try to change something here, we can also preview on the real time. So, for example, as you can see, when I change it, you also see our changes here. Okay, but how to decide which ticket should be visible in which queue? So we can create simple filters. In this section, we can simply add, choose from all attributes available for our tickets, and decide how this attribute should have what value of this attribute should decide that it will be visible here. For example, as we can see, for attribute and application, we have here is GitLab is set as a value, so only GitLab related tickets will be visible here. We can also use, for more advanced filters, we can also use JIRA query language and construct some other filters, more advanced filters, and here also real-time preview works. Okay, what about some ticket view? Well, it is pretty much the same as in the other project in JIRA, but with a couple of exceptions. The more interesting feature here is that we can very simply, very quick respond to our customer by simply click respond to our customer, or by adding a comment here. And quite useful feature is also that there we have two kinds of comments, because we can type some comment and share it with customer. So the customer will can see this comment as our reply, as well as we can add internal comment, and then this comment will be visible here in the project, but not for a customer. So for example, when we have some solutions, or we want to add some remarks for our colleague from our team, we can place it here. And as we can see, here is also marked as internal in such a case. The other very interesting feature is knowledge base. So in this section, there are some suggestions of existing articles in our knowledge base that may contain our solution. It is just based on the tag, because when we create the new article, we can add some tag and then decide which tag which type of articles should be related to which type of tickets. So from here we can of course see how it looks like, and as well as very simply share this article with our customer if it's, for example, if it's a solution of our problem. So now we see that the direct link will be placed as a comment, and by sharing with customer, we can send this link to our user. Okay, of course, from this place we also can search for the other articles in our knowledge base. The same way, as well as, for example, if we want to create, based on this particular ticket, we want to create a new article, we can just use this option, create an article. We see that the default title of this article is the same as the summary of our ticket. Of course, we can change it. You need to just choose one of defined template, and now we can create. Like we can create, we are redirect to the Confluence, and we can create the article. Okay, if it comes to knowledge base, we also, in a situation, for example, when we have when we work not on the already existing ticket, but for example, we get some requests via the other communication channel, for example, the email or Slack or something like that. We can also create an article from here, which is not related to any ticket. So by clicking just create an article, we are redirected to Confluence, and here this is the standard procedure how to articles in Confluence are created. the other, in the same situation, when we get some requests from the other channel, we can also create and use an option create, raise a request here. And now we can create a request on behalf of the other users. So this is pretty much the same way as we can create the request. But now from here, we can choose the other user existing in the system, which in fact became a creator of our ticket. Okay, it's all about the knowledge base, and very often when we work as a support, there is very important to us to measure somehow or organize our tickets by the time to resolution. So we of course can create here in JIRA define some SLAs, some metrics, and assign it to the type, to particular type of our tickets. So for example, we can have the other SLA for the tickets, the problem tickets from the tickets which we get from the email or something like that. And if you have assign some SLA to the tickets, of course, they are visible here, as well as we can configure to displays on the list. So this is very handful, very useful to when we see what, for example, when we need to decide which request is the most important for us, because we have no time, so many time to respond. Okay, and maybe very quickly I show how we can create how SLAs look like. So if we are project administrators, we can go to our SLAs, and now you can create the new one and define when the time should be, when the counting of time should start. Here we have some events defined when issue is created, where it should be paused. For example, when we reply to our customer, when the ticket is in status waiting for customer, and what should be stopped. Of course, to SLAs, we can assign SLAs to particular type of ticket. As you can see here, is for example for a problem, as well as define the calendars to decide that the time should be counted only in our work days. We have defined, for example, one calendar here, yes, with our etc. And then when we have defined some SLAs, we also can create some reports. Here are some examples of reports out of the box, let's say. Very also quite interesting. For example, we can see here a workload. So how many people, how many tickets are assigned to our team, for example, or how often users use our knowledge base articles without creating a ticket, etc., etc. Of course, we can create new reports, some fancy reports here, and define yes our own reports. Okay, so I think it's very briefly, very general overview about our portal, our JIRA Service Desk capabilities. So I encourage you to use, if you see that it could be helpful for you to use Service Desk projects in your teams. We can of course create such a project, such type of project for you And also I encourage you to use our new service desk portal, not only because the old project we used for now was are currently deprecated. They are in read-only state, but also because using our service, creating tickets by the service desk portal, you can first you can easily you save your time because it's very quickly, very easy to create this ticket. You have create tickets from the one place, and no matter if you want to, if you have a problem with one of our tools of QA Lab, save part of our services, and you can easily track your ticket in one place. Okay, so it's all from about a service desk, and if you have any question, so please you can ask comments, and I try to answer now. Maybe one remark. As Shimon said, we still support email way. So if you have any question, you can also write an email at help@software.geant.org. Okay, so thank you. And if you have any question, please put it on the comment.
Cheers, Pavel. It's Patrick speaking. Hi, I put a couple of questions in the chat, and this is something that's a system that we've been having a look at and thinking about to try and get a workflow for our tickets that come in. Does the service desk have like a Kanban view for the users or the workers on the admin team, the support team to use when they're working through the tickets, or a configurable workflow that we could have tickets going into a waiting state, working on state, work in progress, stalled, and then completed, that kind of thing?
Do you mean the Kanban board from okay, in service desk? No, in
okay, it's possible. Ivan, if I can add something. In theory, it's possible, but we didn't use that, and it's what was out of the box was enough for us. But you can do a Kanban board in JIRA in every project, which you have. So you can only define the columns and the restrictions about the board. So it's possible.
So it works in the same way.
Maybe you need some.
Sorry, it works in the same way as a project. So you can create a Kanban board for a project. Okay, cool.
Everything in JIRA is a projects and issues, and you can do what you want, but probably could take some configuration and will be possible based on some documentation. So, but we didn't check that yet.
Okay. Thanks, Shimon. Thank you.
A quick question from me, if I may. Firstly, thanks so much, guys, for a great presentation. Really impressive, really interesting. Quick question. I noticed as you were clicking through screens, there was, I think in the agent view, it showed SLA. It was an 8-hour counter ticking down, I believe. I was just wondering, was that 8 hours, was that constrained to working times, or would that run 24/7? So would it count down overnight if the request came in overnight, or would it only start counting down at, what, 9 a.m. in the morning?
So yes, we can create our own calendar. So you can define the work hour when you want. That should be taken into account. Yes. So for some type of tickets, we can assign a calendar when we define that we work 24/7, and the other we can define some particular hours, as well as add some exceptions.
How's it configured at the moment? So the example we saw, as I said, I think it was pretty sure the SLA said 8 hours. I think this was a test ticket you had just created, so it was.
Yes.
Is that how it's configured? That it just counts down during Monday to Friday, 9 till 5? Is that the SLA that you are working to for responding to new requests?
If I may jump in, thank you very much, Toby, for this question. Pavel, I think Toby's question relates precisely to the example that you've shown us.
Okay. No.
You've shown us this particular example, and I think there was 7 or something hours.
Yes, that's what I spotted. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is about the way how it was somehow calculated. This 7 hours, something like it is calculated, you know, per 8 hours per day or 24 hours per day. What
no, it is 8 hours per day, but in this case. But of course, what you said, all our SLAs that I show you, it was only the example. So it's not this SLAs, these metrics are not our current metric. Yes.
Right. It was just an example of, so do you have SLAs on ticket response and update times, or is that not done at the moment?
Well, sorry, I didn't get exactly your.
Oh, okay, so
yes.
Let me start again. So basically, I noticed as you were giving the demonstration, I saw in the top right-hand corner there was this SLA thing, and I could see it said the SLA is 8 hours, and it was counting down. And I guessed that was, it was the test ticket, and I was just wondering. And you explained that, of course, that was configurable. The admins could set it up. And I was just wondering, do you operate to any SLAs for tickets at the moment? And how does that work? I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe this is just a feature which isn't actually used at the moment. But I just wanted to understand.
Well, now we have not defined formally in JIRA, because this is quite a new project for us. So in JIRA, let's say we are testing it now, but we assume that our tickets should be resolved within the let's say three days, maybe. This is our goal. I can't. Maybe it's sometimes it took more time. Yes, it depends on the problem, of course. But yes, formally now we have in the JIRA we haven't defined it. We are working on it currently, because this is.
And clearly, these can only ever be targets. You can never guarantee that you're going to solve a software problem in 3 days. It's never going to be possible. I appreciate it's only ever a target and guide. But is it the case then that if a ticket ages and gets to that 3-day target, you get some kind of notification to alert you that a ticket is now reaching its service target date? Is that how it's configured, or?
Yes, I think it is possible, but I can't answer now.
Okay.
Ad hoc, I think it is possible to configure some way of notification. It, of course, we see in JIRA on our list that is yes mark on red and something like that, but I need to check it, so I can write it down and this is your question. And then
I appreciate it's early days and there's very few tickets, and as you said, it's very clear to see the age of the ticket from the display. So maybe a notification isn't necessary or beneficial. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
Thank you, Toby. Thank you, Pavel. Thank you, Gibon. Any more thoughts or comments? Please share. And of course, this is a very new service. But that's why this is very important to have to start these conversations and dialogue about its use, because as we can see from the questions we had today, that people may suggest some changes, improvements, ask further questions, and that will prompt further development. And this is the natural and organic process to go through. So, and that's why I think we all welcome your contributions, whether they happen today or whether they happen later on when you actually engage with the service and started using it for real. And then more things will be flagged, and further venues and opportunities for the service to be developed to fit in with the requirements, tighter fit in the requirements will happen.
Irina, if I may, with regards to this feedback that you've just mentioned about, yes, indeed, as Pavel and Szymon presented today, this is, and you, Irina, also mentioned in the beginning of this InfoShare, this is a relatively new service. So the structure, for example, the different types of issues, it's based, and it was defined based on our previous experience. I mean, our team somehow defined the structure based on the historical interaction between the customers and our team, our technical team. But if you would have indeed any feedback relates to, for example, this the particular types of issues, or if you spot any, let's say, inconvenience or anything that is maybe not intuitive for you when you will start and will submit an issue, so please do not hesitate contacting us. We would appreciate for any feedback. So it will help us to even to improve, of course, and to provide you even better schema and even better view on the tickets, the types, and perhaps the knowledge base, because knowledge base, well, we've been trying, of course, to read the documents on a regular basis and update it, but it may happen that something is, well, maybe not relevant or maybe outdated there. So if you spot indeed, again, any issues, we would appreciate hearing a feedback from your side, from the teams.